Hello, everyone. You're on SK Live. I'm your host, Indranil Basu. Today, we have Mr. Vikram Rathour, the batting coach of Team India. Sir, welcome to SK Live. How have you been?
I'm absolutely fine, Indranil. Good to see you.
Good to see you
In
as
your
well.
new, good to see you in a new hairstyle, as I was saying
Oh,
earlier.
thanks a lot for the compliment. So, how has been life? I mean, it's very lot of negative stories all over. It's not a happy situation. So, how you're coping with it?
It's not happy situation for many people, I believe. Yeah, you're right. But for me, actually, it's initially it was like a good holiday.
Yeah,
You got a break after a long time. You don't get these kind of breaks actually when you're living the life kind of life we are living. So it
yeah,
was a welcome break. Got a lot of time to spend with the family,
yeah.
and it's still carrying on. So, but you're right. Outside, I think it's not great. I think things are getting worse.
Is it good for the cricketers to get this break, this extended break?
Not this long a break. I think initial
Yeah,
15, 20 days, maybe a month was a good break to have because they play so much of cricket day in, day out. But
yeah.
now I think it's getting a little beyond that.
And coming back once they come back, will it be easy for them, the batsmen? I mean, how do you see?
It shouldn't be too tough actually. I mean, all of them are training physical, doing a lot of physical training because this has given them time to take a break. Their bodies are rested now and they're all training well. They're all doing gym and a lot of training. So physically they'll come back I think stronger and fitter.
Yeah.
Picking up on batting, it shouldn't take too long. It should couple of weeks of nets and few practice games, and they should be back. Yeah, pretty quickly, I'm sure.
When you were playing domestic cricket and international cricket, you were cool as cucumber. I mean, I've seen so many people, in across generation. You are someone who came across very cool and very composed. I mean, did it come naturally to you, that kind of demeanor?
I certainly did not practice it. Yes, yeah. So it must have come naturally. I think that's the way I was. That's the way I was brought up, and that's what my character was. So yeah, I didn't get too flustered too soon, too early.
Yeah, and you had a lovely technique, sir. I remember, uh, how was it during those growing years? I mean, did you have to really? It came naturally to you, that technique you had, you know.
You might be the one of the few people who believe that I had a good technique. I don't think I
Yeah,
did really.
of course you had, of course. Otherwise, you
No,
wouldn't
I
have
don't.
played Test cricket.
No, technique has got nothing to do with playing Test cricket, anyways. But point is that I could have had a better technique, definitely. Uh, what helped in the earlier part of my career was in those times we played lots of games. I think we played a lot of matches.
Yeah,
Belonging to a state like Punjab, where there was not too much of domestic cricket. So in very early stage of my life, I started playing for Mohan Meekins in Delhi. In those
yeah,
times, we had a lot of tournaments happening in Delhi, summer tournaments. So I got to play a lot and lot of cricket with the Mohan Meekins. We played almost a game every day. So
yeah.
that I thought really helped my cricket, and that was as I would say, the game changer for me once I went to Delhi and started playing for Mohan Beacons because the kind of exposure it provided me as a player, exposure to play on different surfaces against different bowlers. So that gave me, I think, a lot of confidence.
So your technique, your temperament, I mean, you scored like so many runs at domestic level. Uh, did How is it helping Team India right now as the batting coach?
Uh, Coaching, I believe, is absolutely a different skill than playing. You
Yeah,
know, had, Having been a player definitely helps. It's an advantage, but coaching is altogether a different ball game. Uh, so, like anything else in life, you need to practice. You need to go through the phases. You need to learn this skill as well.
yeah,
So I have done that as a coach. I've done level A, level B with the BCCI. Done level 3 with Cricket Australia.
yeah.
Worked with some state teams, with Punjab Ranji Trophy, with IPL, with Himachal for a couple of years. So it has been a journey. Yeah. So I have learned this art of coaching. I always believed I had the temperament, as you said earlier.
Yes,
I was
yes.
even as a player or as a captain, I had the temperament where I could talk to people and manage people well as a captain or as a senior player as well. So that has definitely helped in coaching as well.
Now, how challenging is the role? I mean, being the batting coach, it's not easy. I mean, the entire country is looking at you. If something happens, goes wrong on the field, what is the batting coach doing? That kind of a thing. How you're taking this as a challenge?
That's media talking, but I
Yeah,
think the pressure is on the players, definitely. I mean, as coaches, you can't go in and bat for them. You just help them with their preparations and hope that you can help them prepare better for every situation, and back them as much as you can when they fail, because that's going to happen. That's going to be part of their life, and that is how this game works. So
absolutely.
the real pressure is what the players are dealing with, I think, because they are playing day in, day out in front of so many people watching them on television, everything being scrutinized, everything being commented upon. So as coaches, the best thing you can do is try and help them as much as you can
Yeah.
to deal with all that pressure that they are facing, basically.
For any big tournament, to win any big tournament, you need a solid middle order batsman, middle order batting. Do you think, what our middle order looked a year ago? It's looking certainly better today.
Uh, I think it is. The team went through a transition phase. You had all these Yuvraj Singh, Rainas, all these big players who were playing for Team India,
Yeah, yeah,
Dhoni. So when they all left together, Dhoni is still playing, but since he hasn't been playing for Indian team for almost a year now, so that vacuum was created. So of course it was going to take some time for a youngster to establish himself. I think we've been fortunate to have found somebody like Shreyas Iyer. I think he's very capable. He
yeah.
has the game to do well in shorter formats, and he has got great temperament as well. And fortunately, he's got a start now in his international cricket where he has done well already for us. Now what he needs is just keep working hard, and he needs backing from our side and from the selectors. And if we can keep backing him up, I think he has got the goods. He's one guy who can, solve our issue. He's already done that, actually, to be honest. And in T20, I think somebody like Manish Pandey, he's been a little unfortunate because he hasn't been getting consistent opportunities. But wherever he has played in last 1 year, 1.5 years, he's always performed. He's always done well for us.
Yes.
So somebody like him, if we can keep bringing him in as much as we can and try and provide him with the opportunities to play, I'm sure he can also establish himself as a big player in the middle order for us.
Yeah. Even KL Rahul coming down the order, is it helping the team?
Yeah, KL is a phenomenal player. I think I really like him as a player. He had a lean phase. He got dropped from the team. So I think that has made him stronger and better. So sometimes these kind of failures, they really wake you up. And the kind of comeback that he's made, I think he always had the potential. So now he's reaching that potential. He's putting a price to his wicket. He's playing differently. He's having a more freer mindset when he's batting. Because till you are dropped, I think you're always worried about that what if I get dropped?
Yes.
Once that happened with him, I think, so that has opened him up a level. So life doesn't end. It's just a game. End of the day, it's just a game. And he has made a comeback. And you can see in his approach now and see in his batting that he's more carefree now. He's taking things as they are and not overthinking things. So, of course, scale being there, at whatever number he plays, I think he's an asset for the team.
Yeah, and there was a notion in amongst team till last year, I mean till the World Cup, that get these two guys early, Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli early, and Indian batting will be on the mat. So now things are changing, isn't it? I mean, is it still the same?
As I said earlier, it's not that easy to replace people like Yuvraj's and Dhoni's and Rainas, been playing for so long and who have done so well for the team. So once they all left, so it was going to take some time. And for us, it take a little longer, I thought. There were a few people tried and tested there. But now I think things are changing. We are getting more settled.
So what is your role in that? I mean, building that confidence in the middle order. I mean, how do you see your role as a coach in the team?
Of course, whoever is picked in that slot, basically help them prepare. And as I said, as team management, as a coach, the best thing you can do, other than providing them with the preparation, is back them. back them and show belief in their abilities. Because
Yeah.
anybody who's playing for India is a good player, without any doubt.
Absolutely.
India
Yes.
is one of the top teams in the world. So if you
Yes.
are a number 4 batsman for Team India, you are
Yeah.
one of the better batsmen, a middle order batsman in the world, without saying.
Yeah.
So as a team management or as a coach, the best thing you can do is back that, and keep
Yes.
asserting that positivity in them, that they need to believe that they are one of the best players in the world at that slot, which they are, to be honest.
It's there. Yeah. As a selector, I remember the way you handle things. You spoke to players so often. Before anyone was dropped, you had a dialogue with them. And as a coach, do you bring that same kind of culture? Someone is not fitting in the scheme of things on a particular day in against a particular opposition. Based on the condition, horses for courses you have once in a while. So do you talk to them that you're not being dropped because of lack of performance? I mean, how is the communication skills going there inside the team?
That's the culture I think Ravi and Virat have brought into this team, where
Okay.
everybody knows that it's horses for courses kind of a thing, where you know you'll play the team which is best suited for that those conditions or that game. Players have understood that. I think they are handling it pretty well. So communication is definitely there. When somebody is not playing, everybody wants to play as a player. You know, so when you're not playing, of course you're disappointed at times. But as team management, as a coach, you keep talking to them. I think Ravi has a great knack of doing that. He communicates pretty well, and I'm also fulfilling my role in that wherever I need to chip in and talk to a player and explain to him why he's not there in the squad. Sometimes you try and do the best you can.
But is it little unsettling for a player if he's done well and next match he's not fitting in the scheme of things because of the horses for courses policy? So how do you keep that player motivated?
As I said, I mean, everybody wants to play. They are player. Everybody has prepared. They're working hard and they want to play. So when you're not playing, of course, it's a little disappointing. But again, it really depends on the culture that you've set in the team. As
Okay.
long as they understand it's the team first, I think everybody's okay with that.
And when you have a batting superstar like Virat Kohli doing the bulk of scoring, so what is special about his batting? Is it the hand-eye coordination? Is it the technique? Is it that he has lots of time to play the ball? What is special about his batting? How do you see his batting?
All that plus a little more. For me, best thing about him is his commitment to the game. He
Yeah.
he wants to be the best player in the world, and he prepares for that. He works hard for that. He's committed to be that player, and he puts in lots of hard yards into his preparation. He works. He might be the hardest working cricketer I've seen.
Yeah.
So that has bring on these kind of results that he's showing in past
Yeah.
few years.
Yeah.
Other than that, I think his adaptability, his biggest strength. He is not a one kind of player or one dimensional player. He can change his game as and when required.
Yes.
He plays
Yes.
every format differently. That has been, I think, his greatest strength. One of the best examples which I saw in that was, in 2016, I think that was in IPL where he scored some 900 plus runs
Yes.
with 400s and hit some 46s or something. He was going through a great phase of his career, or was going through a great you know patch of form.
Yes.
We went to West Indies after that, and I was a part of that tour as selector.
Yeah.
So after that IPL, the first tour was West Indies. So after playing cricket like that for 2 months in IPL, we go to West Indies. The first Test match he plays, he scored a double hundred without hitting a single six or without hitting a single ball in the air.
Wow.
So that kind of change to bring into your batting because you're playing a different format, and there's no need to go over the top. So he did. So not many people can do that. People believe that they play in a certain way, and this is the way I play, and these are my strengths, and this is the way I'm going to play. With him, I think he can play the way he wants to play. He
Actually.
plays the format, he plays the situations, and that I think is his biggest strength.
And I've seen him in IPL games where his team is not doing well, but he never loses that enthusiasm. He's still that chirpy on the field. He's still, jumping around, throwing the ball. It's so much of energy he brings into
Yeah,
the team. That's phenomenal.
yeah. That's again one of his strengths. He brings in a lot of energy. His commitment is phenomenal, I think. Yeah.
And what about Rohit Sharma? He's also doing very, very well as a captain, as a batsman, as an opening batsman. 500s in the World Cup. So your thoughts on Rohit Sharma?
Of course, on his day, I think he's the best batsman in the world, especially in white ball cricket. Again, his game plans are solid. He's got great game plans in white ball cricket, and that's being converted into Test cricket as well. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
in New Zealand, he got injured and couldn't play the Test series. But the kind of batting he did against South Africa in the last Test series that we played in India,
Yeah.
I think he was a revelation.
Yes.
Again, his strength is he can take bowlers apart without really taking any risk. He still keeps on playing the cricketing shots, keeps backing his ability to hit straight without taking too much of playing too much of risky shots. He can still strike at a phenomenal strike rate. So that I think is his strength. And on his day, as I said earlier, he can be the best player in the world without doubt.
And getting dropped earlier and then going on and rebuilding your innings, what he did in the World Cup, that was also phenomenal.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So I think getting dropped sometimes helps you as a cricketer. I mean, if you've got the ability, which Rohit always had. I was part of the selection committee when Rohit came into the Indian cricket team. There were a lot of times initially in his career where he did not do too well, but the kind of backing I think that was provided for him, and it was nobody was doing any charity. Everybody was backing him because everybody could see the ability that he had.
Yes.
And everybody could see what he can bring to the team once he starts, going and once he starts doing well, and which he did. Eventually, he started coming good, and now he's the top batsman in the world.
So how is team treating a talent like Rishabh Pant? He's someone who can change a game almost single-handedly. The way he plays all over the wicket, he's a very special talent, very special kid, and he can easily play in the team as a batsman. I mean, what is team thinking about him in the long term?
He is, without any doubt. I mean, again, everybody believes that.
Yeah.
He's being bagged at that. He's haven't had a great year. I think last year he hasn't done too well in international cricket. He still has the backing of the team management. We all believe he's a special player. He can bring in a lot to the Indian cricket team once he starts going. Replacing somebody Dhoni is still around. We don't know what's happening with him, but replacing somebody like Dhoni is not easy. It was never going to be easy because the kind of cricket Dhoni has played and the kind of stature he had in the team and in international cricket, it's not easy to replace. Pant has had few failures, so he's gone through a phase where he was a little under pressure to perform and things like that. But as I said earlier, something like this makes you a stronger and a better player. He's working really hard on his physical aspect. He's training hard, he's practicing hard, and I have absolutely no doubt again that if we keep backing him up, eventually he will be a match winner for Team India.
Absolutely. And coming to the next question, obvious question, are we missing Dhoni in the team? He's not played for a year almost.
Without saying, yeah. I mean, somebody of his stature and his caliber will always be missed.
Yeah.
But again, we don't know where he stands and what his plans are. But in a sense, in India, we are a little fortunate that we have enough, bench strength to replace people. And again, Pant will play a role there. KL has done well for us, playing a role as a wicketkeeper batsman. So we have the replacements. People are taking up that job. But of course, any team will miss somebody like Dhoni.
And you're spoiled for choices. I mean, there's so many choices. Even wicketkeeper batsmen. Last World Cup semi-final against New Zealand, I think 4 wicketkeepers were playing. So there are so many options. I mean, isn't it confusing for the team? I mean, I was asking the same question to our bowling coach, Mr. Bharat Arun. Isn't it confusing once in a while that which 11 actually to pen down, before the toss?
You play your best 11, basically, simply. And everybody cannot be accommodated, unfortunately, because only 11 can play. So with your understanding, with the kind of form they are going through, so you pick your best 11 and hope that they'll come good on a certain day. Yeah. But you're right, we have plenty of potential coming up. Somebody like even Sanju Samson, I think, is a phenomenal cricketer.
Yeah.
So once he comes, so again, don't know when we can provide opportunity to him, when he can get few games, but somebody like him also can do really well.
We can actually field 2 international sides.
Maybe.
Maybe yes.
Yeah.
So can we also say with the number 4 debate, is it settled for now? The way things are
As far
happening.
as I'm concerned, I think it is. As I said, I think Shreyas has done enough to settle that debate. In T20 cricket, again, Manish Pandey, wherever he has got the opportunity at number 5 or 6, he has done well.
Yeah.
KL is batting at in the middle order in one days. So yeah, I think we have enough potential now to stop looking outside. I think we have whatever we need in the squad now.
So what's with this middle order batting 4, 5, 6? Why are they so tough? Is it because the ball gets old? You have to you're rushing against time. You can't get enough time to settle down. You have to come and immediately start hitting the ball. So what you need as to become a good middle order batsman? That's one area we are working towards it, as you said. So what exact qualities you need?
We've been really fortunate with the opening, actually, the starts that we've been having for quite some time now. It started with Tendulkar and Saurav, and then Gambhir and Sehwag. So we always had a good, solid top order. Now Shikhar and Rohit has done so well for us. So that at times put a little pressure on middle orders. It gets a little harder because they are providing good starts almost every game.
Yeah.
So you go into bat at sometimes at the time where you're already 30 overs, 35 overs are gone, 40 overs are gone. So you don't get enough time to establish yourself, get settled first, and then start building up your innings. So you are at times a little under pressure to go and perform straight away. So that could be one of the reasons, I believe. But again, that's a good problem to have. And as a player, I think you need to understand that and find a way to deal with it.
And then you see a Rohit Sharma who was not scoring regularly, was really struggling. Then he opens the innings, he becomes a different player altogether. So can we reach a conclusion that batting in 1, 2, 3 is much easier than batting at 4, 5, 6?
In
shorter
white
formats.
ball cricket,
Yes,
in shorter format, maybe yes, because of the field restrictions, because the ball is harder. There's no pressure on the team of losing wickets. So middle order in shorter formats, I think, is a tougher place to be in.
This lockdown has been, as we all know, is very, very tough for all of us. So what are the kind of drills batsmen are doing these days at home? I mean, Rohit Sharma or Virat Kohli can't step out of his building because Mumbai is a containment zone and all that. So what are the drills are they doing? I mean, what are the practices inside their homes? What particular drills are they have adapted?
You can't do much, I think, in a situation like this. It's a very unprecedented situation where it has never happened before. I don't think something similar has happened ever before.
Okay.
So people are finding ways to deal with it. Physically, I think they are all training. They have gyms or they have the treadmills and weights at home. So physically, I think they're doing well. They're training well. As far as batting is concerned, it's a challenge. So a lot of shadow practice, a lot of visualization. A lot of videos they are watching. We have an app where a lot of their videos have been put in where they can see themselves playing and the conditions where they have played in earlier and the kind of innings they've played earlier. So a lot of that is going on. This break has also given them a time to basically maybe analyze their games. What are the areas they really want to work on? What are the things they really want to improve? So a lot of self analysis has been done, self reflection. What are the situation? How they handled situations in the past? What they could have done better in the similar situations. So things like that will help them. Once they come back.
And as a player, so I mean, how many shadow practice did you do? I mean, when you are not playing regularly, I mean, you are had an off season or taken off from the game.
You do. Yeah, you as a player, you have a bat in your hand, in your room, in the hotel rooms, and at home. Yeah. A lot of I did when I was playing. I did a lot of hanging ball kind of a stuff.
Yes.
A lot of throwdowns, a lot of net practice or throwdowns, so things like that. So yeah, of course.
So the current boys, do they do hanging ball with the, put the ball inside the socks and then hang it and keep hitting?
Earlier stage, I'm sure the earliest and younger stage, everybody does that. But when
Yeah.
you're playing international cricket, you're virtually traveling every day. You're virtually playing cricket every day. So I don't think you have time to get back to that drill. But maybe in these times,
Yes.
during lockdown, some of them might be doing that as well. Yes.
Sir, before a match, I mean, it also depends on individual. Before a match, how much knocking one should do? I mean, for all those who are watching, people at times they overbat, themselves in the nets and all that, and then in the match, the thing gets over. You run out of gas. So, I
Nothing like that. I think it's very personal. I think it's
okay,
very personal. It's you call it a pre-game routine. Everybody should have it, definitely. So as a player, when you're going through the phases of your life, you understand what suits you best.
yeah,
How do you prepare for a game? And once you find that routine, you need to follow it up every time. So
absolutely,
everybody is different. Some likes to hit a lot of balls. Some of them don't touch the bat at all on the day of the game. They don't want to knock at all. Some of them want
yeah.
to hit few balls. So again, it's different for everybody. So you need to find your way of, how you like to prepare, and that is your time completely. That is, you should have the freedom to do whatever you want to do, or whichever way you want to prepare.
So I mean, we had a lovely time in New Zealand in the shorter formats. We somehow couldn't match our play to our potential in the Test series. The ball was jumping around a lot, it was moving around a lot. So what exactly one should do, because to a great moving deliveries, you don't have. I mean, the best batsman won't have the best answer. So what are the suggestions when you go through that kind of phase? What do you tell those boys?
See, before you getting into a series like that, of course you prepare, which we
Yeah,
did. We prepared
yeah,
really well, I thought,
yeah, yeah,
but it's not easy to create the similar situation or conditions in
yeah.
nets
Hmm.
or the practice games. It generally happens like that happens on Indian tours as well. When teams tour to India, the kind of wickets they get on in practice games or side games are different to what they'll get in the test matches, and that's what happens even to us. Basically, the kind of wickets that we got in the practice games were completely different from the conditions that we got in the test matches. So it's not very easy to simulate the similar conditions.
Yeah,
Uh, the things that you can do is having clear game plans
yeah.
and execute them.
Execute that.
The problem I think happened that we really couldn't execute our game plans. Right, you
Yeah,
need to decide as a player on certain conditions or certain wickets against certain bowling attack. What are the best scoring shots for you? Because ultimately, in the end, batting is about scoring runs, putting runs on the board. It's not how
absolutely.
long you bat it. So it's how
Yeah.
many runs you put on the board. So you need to decide as a player that in these conditions, where are my scoring areas? And in if you get a ball in that area, you need to go for your runs. You need to
Absolutely.
go for your shots and try and score runs there. So I think that is where we faltered. We really couldn't execute our game plans that well. Uh, Otherwise, I think the only adjustments you can make is more on tactical and game plan side than technical. Because technically, I really believe that we are one of the better teams in the world. Our batters are technically pretty well equipped. They have good techniques, all of them, because they play so much of cricket
Yes. Yes.
through their younger years.
Yes.
So the changes or the adjustments need to be in the game plans.
Yeah. So, what are the challenges in front of this great team, which has got so much potential? Best players, best batsmen, best bowlers, best fielders, best spinners. So, what are the challenges in front of this team? I mean, in the days to come, when cricket resumes.
There's nothing called perfect. I mean, you always can improve. You can always get better. This team has
Yeah.
achieved quite a lot in past few years, but
Yes.
there are still areas you can do even better. I mean, when we're touring, we can tour better. We can, start adapting to condition
Yeah.
better. When we tour, we can, win more outside series when we're traveling to places like Australia's and New Zealand's and England's.
Yeah.
So still challenges there. We still need to do better in ICC tournaments, which we are preparing well and hoping that we'll do better.
And
Because we
and
have the potential. We have enough potential in this team, as you said earlier. This is one of the better teams. Uh,
yes.
So as long as we keep believing that and keep practicing and keep working hard towards our goals, there's still a lot of things to be achieved here.
It's a jigsaw puzzle for us, despite being such a great team. Why are we not number one? I mean, we are number one technically, but why are we not winning abroad? We hopefully, with people like you looking after the team, it will happen very soon, Vikram sir. On that note, I would like to thank you for coming and joining us on SK Live. It was a pleasure talking to you. You took all the questions with so much of like you would bat during your good old days. It was really pleasure talking to you. All the best. Stay safe and best wishes for Team India.
Thanks a lot. Cheers.
Pleasure. Thank you, sir.